Hey, so today in This Week in English, we're going to be talking about the big news story that everyone's been talking about, which is Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah and her kind of leaving the royal family with Prince Harry. In the past, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry got married. Meghan Markle is mixed race. One of her parents is African American and one of her parents is white. And since then, there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of arguments about racism in the royal family and the way she's been treated unfairly. This week, there was an interview with Oprah Winfrey, and she discussed some of her experiences of racism in the royal family. So today, we're going to look at a clip. You can find a link in the description. I'm going to pick out some interesting quotes, some interesting bits of language from it. Once you've finished watching this, you can go and you can watch the original clip and you can understand it a little bit better. So the first clip we want to take a look at is this one.
The Duchess of Sussex revealed that it was the royal family's decision not to make Archie a prince and implied his race was a factor.
So when you're talking about people from the royal family, or just very posh people in the UK and some other countries, they might have a title. And this is, it's another name for someone. So it might be a duke or a prince or a king or something like that. So the first thing I wanted to pay attention to in this clip is they call her the Duchess of Sussex. And that's basically just another name for Meghan Markle. So when they say Duchess of Sussex, they mean Meghan Markle. Now, the other word I want to look at in here is implies. So if you imply something, what that means is you are saying something without putting it into words. So if I have a student who's always late for class and one time they turn up on time and I say, "Oh, thank you for turning up on time." What I'm saying is just thank you for turning up on time, but actually there's kind of an implication there which isn't very nice, which is going, why are you always late? So if we imply something, we don't use words to say it, but we still give the meaning to whoever's listening without using words. Okay, let's have a look at that next sentence.
The idea of our son not being safe, and also the idea of the first member of color in this family not being titled in the same way that other grandchildren would be.
So the phrase I wanted to look at in this is members of color. And I think this is interesting because it's a very new piece of language. Its language is always changing and evolving, especially in the internet age. And it's become increasingly common to hear the phrase people of color. People of color is just basically a way of talking about all non-white people in a country. Because they might all be treated badly in similar ways, or they might all experience racism in similar ways. So people of color is very common, but now you increasingly see other groups used in the same way. So instead of people, you might have students of color, or teachers of color, or women of color. Lots of different words get added into that slot. So I wanted to pick out this phrase, members of color, mostly because it's the first time I've heard it. And what it means is members of the royal family of color. So their son is the first person who's been born into the royal family who isn't white. All right, we've got one more phrase to take a look at. Let's do that now.
I think for both of them, the attitude is so be it. Because for so many years, the whole world has spoken about Harry and Meghan, but they haven't been able to speak themselves. And
all right, now, so be it is a phrase, and it basically just means let whatever happens happen. And it's kind of a way of saying you're just going to accept whatever bad things happen as a result of something. Maybe you're quite resigned to the consequences of something. So they say, oh, it's a so be it attitude. And basically all that means is they are prepared for whatever bad things happen as a result of this interview. If the bad things happen, whatever, let it happen. So I hope you enjoyed looking at some useful phrases from this interview. Now you've had a look, you can find a link to the original interview in the description, and you can watch a little 5-minute clip of that.